Problem number 5, random pick with weight. So we are given an array W of positive integers where each entry in this array describes the weight of the index I. We have to write a function pick index which randomly picks an index in proportion to its weight. The constraints are such that at max there will be 10 to the power 4 entries in this array W. Each of the entry will be less than or equal to 10 to the power 5, and this function pick index will be called at most 10 to the power 4 times. Okay. So let's consider this example so that we have a better understanding of what the problem is trying to say. So consider this weight array which is 2, 1, 3, 2, 3, and the indices corresponding to the each entry is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now what the problem is trying to say is you have to pick the indices of this array in according or in proportion to the weight array that they have given here. Okay. So if you see the sum of this weight array is 2 plus 1 3, 3 plus 3 plus 3 9, and 2 11. Okay, so a total of 11 elements are there. Okay, so if I pick these indices a total of 11 times, 2 times 0 should be picked, 1 time 1 should be picked, 3 times 2 should be picked, 2 times this 3 should be picked, and 3 times this 4 should be picked. Okay, or in other words I can say that let's try to do this thing. Let's repeat each of this index this weight number of times. Okay, so I'll be having this array 0 0 because I've repeated this 0 2 times. Then I'll repeat this 1 1 time. Then I'll repeat this 2 3 times. Then I'll repeat this 3 2 times, and I'll repeat this 4 3 times. So we have total of 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. Okay, so here we have a total of 11 elements, and the problem is trying to say that you have to pick uh, the elements from this array randomly. So for example, if I randomly pick the element from this arrays uniformly, so I would have picked this 2 3 times, this 3 2 times, this 4 3 times, this 0 2 times, and so on. And this is what we want. Okay, so what I'll do is, instead of considering this array, now I'll consider this array, and also let me just write the indices that appears for this array. Now one thing to notice here is uh, the total number of elements in this weight array will be less than equal to 10 to the power 4, and each of the entry will be less than equal to 10 to the power 5. Okay, so you cannot actually build this array and store it in memory. The reason is there can be 10 to the power 5, 10 to the power 4 elements, and each element can have the weight of 10 to the power 5. So in worst case, you'll be having a total of 10 to the power 9 elements in this sort of array. So you cannot store all the entries here in memory because you cannot store this 10 to the power 5 integers in memory. So instead what we'll be doing is there is some more information that we can obtain from this array, which is we just only store the last index of each number that appear here. For example, the last index of this 0 is 1. So that is what I'll store. Okay. So for 0, you just let me use different color. For index 0, the last sorry, so for the number 0, the last index is 1. For number 1, the last index where it appears is 2. For number 2, the last index where it appears is this 5. And you can actually just sum this whole thing and you'll get the answer. Okay, for this 3, the last index where it appears is 7, and for 4, the last index where it appears is 10. So this is what we'll be storing. These numbers is what we'll be storing instead of this whole array. Okay, and since we are having only 4 numbers here, and the total number of numbers in this array can be less than equal to 10 to the power 4, so at max there will be 10 to the power 4 entries that we'll have to store, which we can fit in memory. Next, what we'll do is we'll try to generate a random index from 0 to 10. Okay, so it will be something like you just generate a random number, and you can take that random number modulo the size or the total sum of this weight array, which is 11 in this case. If I take a random number and mod it by 11, I'll be obtaining a number in the range of 0 to 10 randomly. Okay, and this is what I'll be doing. So for example, if I obtain the number 4, now what I can do with this 4 is I can see that which number is present at this index 4, and I can see that number 2 is present, so this 2 will be my answer. But how do I retrieve this 2 from this array is the main question. And what you can do is you can use something called upper bound, or in fact not upper bound, something called lower bound, in order to obtain the answer. Now, I'll not cover the whole tutorial on binary search or things. By definition, lower bound means the first position in the array uh, where the value is greater than or equal to a given value x. So, for example, what is the lower bound of 6 in this array? If you see, this 7 is the number which is the first number which is greater than or equal to 6 in this whole array. So, let me just name this array as capital X. So this 7 is the first number which is greater than or equal to 6 in this whole array, and this 7 is actually located at the index 3. Okay, so this is what the lower bound of 6 is, and it's present at the index number 3. Next, what will be the lower bound of say 5 in this array? So I can see that 5 is the first such number which is greater than or equal to 5, and it is present at index number 2. So this 5 is going to be the lower bound of 5 which is present at index number 2. Suppose if I have to find the lower bound for 9, now I can see that this 10 is the first such number in this array which is greater than or equal to 9, and that is actually present at index number 4. So this 10 is the lower bound present at index number 4. So this is what I'll be doing. I'll be generating a random value between 0 to 10 by taking modulo 11, and I'll be taking the lower bound of that particular value in order to obtain which which number that corresponding value is, which number that corresponding value corresponds to. So for example, let's just consider an example of say this gives me a random number 8. So I generate a random number from 0 to 10 and it gives me 8. Now if I have a look here at index number 8, the number which is present is 4. So I should be able to get this number 4 somehow. And if I try to obtain the lower bound here, so the lower bound for 8 is the first such number which is greater than or equal to 8, which is 10, and this 10 is actually present at index number 4. Now I can just take this index, which is the answer that is same from here as well. So this is what we'll be doing. We'll be first constructing this array X. If you see, that's not very typical task. That's in fact a very simple task. Uh, the first entry is corresponding to this particular value minus 1, so which is 1, and you just keep adding this values one by one, and you just make that cumulative array that will be your X. Okay, so the first entry is this 2 minus 1, which is 1. Then you add this 1 and that becomes a second entry. Then you add this 3 to this 2, that becomes a third entry. You add this 2 to this 5, that becomes a fourth entry, and you add this 3 to the 7, that becomes your last entry. And you can see that 1 2 5 7 10 is what our array is. Okay, so the process will be we'll first construct this array X, then one by one we'll generate a random value from 0 to 10, so which is the last value of our this cumulative array is. Okay, we'll be generating a random value from 0 to 10, or I can say 0 to, if this whole thing sums up to say capital N, I'll be generating a random value from 0 to capital N minus 1, and whatever value I obtain, I'll be just taking the lower bound of that value, and the index corresponding to that value is the answer that I'm looking for. Okay, so let's have a look at how we will implement this in the actual code. So what I've done here is I've written down the steps for you guys, so that it's easy for you to code up the final solution. So we'll just declare the cumulative array X that we have here. So we'll just declare this array X, which we'll be using across the different function, which is this pick index 1 and this solution function, which we'll be storing these values. Okay, and we'll also be declaring the this value n, with which we need to take modulo every time the pick index function is called. Okay, so this array X is simple. It's just vector int, and it's just an integer. Okay, in the solution function, what we'll be doing is we'll first build the array X using the weight array, and we already saw what's the process of that. So the first entry in this array X is nothing but sorry, the zeroth entry in this array X is nothing but the zeroth entry in the weight array minus 1. And after that, we just keep adding the value from the weight array, and we just keep making this cumulative array here that will give us the array X. Okay. So X of 0. So let's just X dot resize, because we'll be having a total of n values. Okay, so X of 0 is nothing but W of 0 minus 1, and for int I equals 1, I less than n plus I, X of I is going to be, so whatever is the value in the weight array plus whatever is the previous value, we'll just add that value here. Okay. So this is how we can just construct our weight array. And what is the value of n? So if you have a look here, so whatever is the last entry in here in this array X, n, that is the total sum of all these weights, is nothing but this last entry plus 1, because we'll be having the entries, so we'll be having these indices from 0 to n minus 1. So if you want to calculate n, you just add 1 to the last index, and that will give you n. So n is going to be the last index, which is this plus 1. Okay, so this is what we'll be doing in this part. In the next part, where we have this pick index function. So step 1 is to generate a random value from 0 to n, and we can just do that using rand mod. We just generate a random value, and we just take this random value modulo n. So we have already assigned the value of n here. I just take random value modulo n, and that will give me a random value between 0 and n minus 1. The next task is to just obtain the lower bound of this value, and in fact obtain the index of the lower bound. So as we already saw here, like we consider this number 8, the lower bound of this 8 is the value 10, but this value 10 is actually located at index number 4, and that's what we are interested in, because at this index 8 this value 4 was present, right? So that's what we'll be doing exactly. We'll be having index equals lower bound of sorry, x dot begin, x dot end, and I have to find the lower bound for this particular value val. And not just the lower bound, I have to actually obtain the index. So I'll just subtract x dot begin from this thing. So if you're new to C++, I would really recommend you to see some tutorials on lower bound, upper bound, or in general the functionalities that are available in C++ STL. So this lower bound function is what I'm taking from that STL library. Once I have that index, that's my answer, and I just return that index. So let's just try to run this code. This works. Let's just try to run this for this input. Okay, so remember that since this is a function in this is a program in which we are generating random numbers. Okay, so it's not that you'll be having exactly the same output that you have here and here. In this case, we were lucky we got the same output. We can actually have zeros also. So let's just try to submit this and see whether it works or not. Should hopefully work, because that's what I'm making. That's why I'm making the tutorials also. Yeah, so it's accepted. Thank you for watching. If you have any suggestion, if you have any comments, or if you want me to make tutorial on binary search or lower bound or upper bound or STL or any such thing, so there are already a lot of tutorials available online. But if you want me to make a separate tutorial on any of these topics, do let me know. And thanks for watching.